afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the day. It's Craig Swainey. I'm the medical director, the physician here at the Coleman Institute in Richmond, Virginia. Coming to answer some questions, some follow-up on some really good questions that we've gotten from you guys. The first one that I'm going to talk about here today is a good one, and it is, how do we choose between methadone and Suboxone? As a doc, as an MD, how do I decide what is, what am I going to recommend? Methadone versus Suboxone. So, real quick, methadone and Suboxone both indicated for patients with moderate to severe opioid use disorders. Both have benefits of decreasing cravings, improving your chances of staying clean. Both appear to be equally effective at reducing your risk of overdose death. They're both really good drugs. They work. They work to help people clean. Methadone has been around forever. It's been around since the 1970s, and largely nothing's changed in the methadone world. Suboxone is much newer. The active ingredient in Suboxone is buprenorphine. It's also paired to Naltrexone. Medically, what are we, things that we look for? Two big things that we look for from just the overall medical view. One is, how is the heart? Does the person have any underlying heart disease, particularly the electrical activity in the heart? So when you look at an EKG, EKGs, I don't have one here, but EKGs follow the electrical activity in your heart. That's what you see when you go to boop, boop. That's the electrical activity. Their methadone can alter that electrical activity and cause something called a prolonged QT interval. Doesn't matter what that's called. The important part is that it can cause this syndrome that can predispose people to sudden cardiac death. Now, sudden cardiac death is not good, not a desired outcome. So in people who have problems with the electrical activity in your heart, methadone's a no-go. Second big factor is the liver. How is the liver looking? Does the person have active hepatitis B or C? How's the liver function? When you look up both of these drugs, you're going to see some data that shows some liver issues with both. The short story is that in people who have severe liver dysfunction, you have to be careful just overall. Methadone would be more preferred in this setting than Suboxone in severe liver impairment, severe liver, kind of failure, end-stage kind of cirrhosis. Methadone would be the preferred drug. The catch is that when people have really bad liver disease with methadone, you have to be really careful because methadone doesn't damage the liver directly, but what it can do is as the liver starts to shut down and decrease its function, you have less methadone that's metabolized. The liver's main activity is to clear your blood, get rid of all the chemicals and break down drugs so that they can be excreted. And when the liver function is impaired in methadone, it can cause methadone to build up. Now, you usually don't see that at all until people have some really serious liver disease, but you have to dose methadone carefully in the liver failure space. Suboxone we stay away from in severe liver dysfunction. Mild to moderate liver dysfunction, you can do Suboxone, you just have to watch the liver function closely. So those are the kind of medical factors. Well, I will say one other thing. I anyway think about pain in people who have chronic pain, where trying to decide who goes to methadone and who goes to Suboxone. The reason is that because methadone is a full opiate agonist versus a partial opiate agonist in Suboxone, The methadone activates the opiate receptor fully. There is no, because it's a full agonist, there's no ceiling effect. So the higher dose you go on methadone, the more effect you have. Versus Suboxone, where you have a ceiling effect because it's a partial activator. You get some activation, you get some opiate release, but then you taper off kind of, and you get this flattening of the effect. And that's called a ceiling effect. So above about 24 milligrams of Suboxone, which in the state of Virginia is the highest dose you can go to, you're almost at that ceiling. Before they made the adjustments in the max doses, I had some folks who were on 32 milligrams who did see benefit over 24. But we can't do that anymore. So in people who have severe chronic pain, methadone may be a better drug depending on their how much they need. Suboxone, as it is a partial opiate agonist, it does also help with pain a lot. And for most people, we can control their pain with Suboxone. But there are some people who Suboxone just doesn't help. It doesn't help their they're still having cravings, they're still in a lot of pain, and it's just not helping us with what they need. In both of our settings, people have to have an opiate use disorder before we can start them on methadone or Suboxone. If someone comes into the clinic and says, hey, I'm in chronic pain and no one will prescribe me opiates, well, we got to get into it really into the thick of it before we can say, yeah, Suboxone's a good drug to you, or yeah, methadone's a good drug for you, because they have to have an opiate use disorder. You can't just give it to someone who doesn't have an opiate use disorder. It's not indicated. But people who have opiate disorders, opiate use disorders and pain, methadone, Suboxone, good drugs. Now, other areas that we look at, other things to think about with methadone and Suboxone are practical issues. And those practical issues can be significant. Main practical issue is methadone is dosed daily. What that means is when you go to a methadone clinic and enroll, you're going to be set up to start your methadone dosing, and you will come in every day to dose. After you've been there every day for about 3 months, people can start getting some take-home doses where they're not having to come in every day. They can go home, go to work, and not have to go to the methadone clinic, which sets people up for a difficult situation. Think about it. You're going to have to go to dose every day for a long time, for weeks, until you can start to get some, so to speak, freedom. And that can be very limiting for people. Think, if you got kids, you got a job, everyone has things that we have to do. So taking a chunk of time out to get methadone every day is significant. Whereas Suboxone, you come in the clinic and you get a week's worth of medications off the jump, which allows people to be more productive, more actively involved in the world than methadone. So those are the big indications and reasons why we do things with methadone versus Suboxone.